Technology plays a very important role in education today, mostly because technology is ever changing and it's going to be around for our students for the rest of their lives. So as long as we as educators can find that balance, using technology in the classroom and not, we're going to be able to help them be better prepared in the future.
The use of technology in early education, elementary education, is important, but it also needs to be purposeful, engaging for our students. And when our teachers are looking for things, I'm hoping that they're using this tool because it's better than any other tool that they have available.
And whether it's about improving students who have deficiencies or whether it's enhancing instruction, technology can be used in so many different fashions, and the software that's available to help kids improve these days is amazing.
Technology has become a vital part of the education process. Kids are surrounded by technology all day when they're not at school, between video games and social media and things like that. When they come to school, they're expecting that same level of engagement and interest, and so without technology in the classroom, it's hard to keep students fully engaged in what we're doing.
So I view the role of technology as a tool. I believe it should not take over any type of curriculum or type of teaching, but it could be a good resource for teachers to help students get those skills that they may need in the workforce someday.
Well, I think technology is advancing and it's part of the world, and so we have to educate people to use it, as well as some of the people are going to have to develop technology in the future.
The way that I utilize technology in the classroom, so I run two different programs. The first one is the Cardinal Brew. And in the Cardinal Brew program, we utilize a couple different types of technology, but we utilize spreadsheets, obviously, because kids take orders. They utilize the Google Forms, and then the orders go into the spreadsheets, and they have to know how to sort and analyze that information, and then write it onto tickets to be able to process it for our delivery day. We also utilize technology in the form of various equipments, espresso machines and milk frothers and steamers and stuff like that, and being able to understand how to use those safely and appropriately. So we utilize that. And then I also run a workshop twice a week where students use the Cricut, they use design software, they use Canva. So they're learning some of those skills of how to use their creativity and take what their thought is and put it into these different design programs, and then take those design programs and create an actual product.
So we use the Clever Touch every day. I like to use the Elmo or the document camera in order to show things close up for the students that projects it right on the board. We like to use Khan Academy in the classroom on the Chromebooks. We also do math seeds and some other things on the Chromebooks.
We have a district video club and a video announcement program, and I see students really utilizing new tools. But I also see things going on in our technology classes with different types of printers and programs. So it's very nice because a lot of our students take online classes through college, and it's nice to see them using those skills within our media center.
So for example, as a robotics advisor, I see this every day because my students have ideas for how they want to design their robots and how they think that the parts will fit together and work together. But they use programs such as CAD to plan those out ahead of time, and that way they can see exactly if those parts are going to fit together and work together in such a way. And then the robotics program also involves coding their robots to work autonomously without them driving the robot, and so they have to be able to understand the coding principles in order to be able to fulfill those challenges.
Another way that I see technology being used in our building is our students have Chromebooks that they utilize in each of their classrooms. They use this to access curricular materials, also resources and tools that they can use to demonstrate their learning. And this is something that we've grown a lot in over the past few years here at Brookside Middle School.
It also allows us to differentiate the learning to fit the needs of the students. In math, for example, we have students in my classroom who are still working on some skills from previous grades and trying to master those skills, all the way up to students who are beyond what the curriculum in third grade requires them to do. So it's an easy way to be able to meet all of those learners in an engaging way.
I've seen it used in many different ways to support students with special needs, often in the form of assistive technology, and this can encompass like physical items, like maybe a communication device for a student who has difficulty or limited communication. It could involve an amplification system in the classroom for a student with a hearing impairment. And it also could encompass non-tangible features that are enabled, like in software, like maybe speech to text or text to speech for students who have reading or writing difficulties.
I teach math. I use technology in a number of different ways. We have some virtual activities in our textbook, so that one's kind of built in for us. We use online quizzes, things like Kahoot or even like Google Forms, things like that, just to get kids used to answering questions using computers.
So we use technology all day, every day. I teach a lot of technology classes. I teach 3D modeling. We have a computer programming class. We have a video game creating class. And all those use technology as becoming makers of technology.
As we use data to drive instruction, I try and come up with different ways to organize, whether it's test scores or performance on specific standards or things like that.
We also use the iPad to interact so that I can walk around the room. I can talk with students, I can work with students, and I'm not standing directly in front of the classroom the whole time. And I can still interact with my board using the iPad and the Apple Pen.
In TV production, technology obviously plays a huge role with all the pieces of equipment that the students need to learn, that I need to teach them. As technology ages out, you get a new piece of equipment, so you need to keep adapting to that technology to be able to use it the proper way to make the best production of whatever you're trying to make.
We also have so many different types of technology where students can wear devices that translate. As we get students from different countries that come in and don't speak English or are English learners, we can adapt to them through those pieces of equipment, and also just with the Google Translate and the different services like that.
The role of technology in education really is to help move kids along into the working world, to be able to facilitate critical thinking, teamwork, providing all the opportunities for them to be able to utilize skills that they'll be utilizing in the workplace here in the building.
Technology is everywhere, so it makes sense that we need to be training our students to survive in a technological world.
Technology is a tool, and it's a great tool, and when used in a balanced way, it can open up the world for our students.
It just surrounds us every day, and it's really impossible to escape.